What do baseball, bananas, and dancing grandmas have in common? Meet Jesse Cole, the founder and CEO of the Savannah Bananas. The Savannah Bananas started out with just one team, playing what Jesse called banana ball. Since its debut season in 2016, 2 more teams have been added to the roster, the Party Animals and the Firefighters. And over the past 8 years, they've become a phenomenon, selling out 200 games, including MLB stadiums, generating a 3 million person waiting list, and building a massive following, with over 6 times as many followers on TikTok as the New York Yankees. All this thanks to Jesse's singular, unwavering focus.
We got to bring a great show because people are coming from all over the country and they deserve that.
This is how Jesse Cole is putting fans first.
3, 2, 1,
You have brought this stadium back to life, but you brought it back in a very different way. It's
probably a different game.
Totally different game. And it is a totally different game. I'd seen the Savannah Banana hype on TikTok and YouTube, but I knew I just had to see it for myself. So I grabbed my son, who's a huge banana fan, and we headed straight to Grayson Stadium down in Savannah, Georgia.
Thinking college football, and I thought about like Alabama, Auburn. They put the audio over it.
People don't realize it's a completely different show every night.
That's crazy.
So all these things, they learn new dances, new routines, new everything every single day.
Yeah. So, and was that an idea? Was that a player coming up with a new idea of
Yeah,
how?
so yes, it's trying to empower the group to come up with their ideas and see what works and what doesn't work. And whereas I know some things won't work that well, you also have to let them feel that.
And what's your secret for getting people to share their own ideas?
Well, you don't force it. What you try to do is create an environment where people feel safe to share ideas. If I'm the owner of the company or our coaches or our leaders make a mistake that doesn't work, like the horse head race or the living piñata or any of these ridiculous things that I came up with and did not go well, I got to own it and share it and say, hey guys, it didn't work. All right, what's next?
You tell the story to people and your team?
I share it. I share all the times we fail. The more you do, the more you learn. And so we have to do more. And that's why we're doing 15 plus new things every single night at the ballpark so we can learn faster than any other sports organization.
So how does that make you feel, seeing the difference in where you started and where you are now?
I don't think you'd understand the scope until you understand where we came from.
Yeah.
And where we came from was myself. It was our 24-year-old team president and 3 22-year-olds. That was our entire enterprise, as we call it at that point. And so now to think where we are, when we go on the road to a major league stadium, we're traveling with up to 220 people on the road.
Wow.
So it's grown from just this little thing to being, hundreds of people.
As I walked through Grayson Stadium, I could tell right away this wasn't your typical ballpark. Sure, there were bananas everywhere and fans decked out in yellow, but something was missing.
We believe no one comes to a sporting event to be sold to, marketed to, or advertised to. We don't care the amount of dollars that comes from it. They don't want it. And so now, instead of putting all these billboards, our fans who built this to what it is get to come to the wall and they get to sign their name, and now they're a part of Grayson Stadium.
So I'd love to understand how this business works. There's no advertisements around us. You spend $0 on marketing. I think anyone watching this is like, he is leaving money on the table. Can you just explain the business?
Yeah, I don't know how many CFOs would love us because of the way we look at our business, but yeah, the name of our company is Fans First Entertainment. The starting point of all innovation is to stop doing the things your customers don't like.
Yeah.
It's not as attractive, it's not as fun, but literally there's so many friction points in an experience that's like, ooh, we think this is best for the business. So for us, it's very simple. The friction points in a baseball game, it's too long, too slow, too boring. So how do we make it nonstop fun, entertainment from when you first walk in to when you leave? Sporting events, you get nickel and dime. Here in Savannah, all your burgers, hot dogs, chicken sandwiches, soda, water, popcorn, dessert, everything is all included in one price. If your kid wants soda, go get it. You don't need my wallet. You don't need a credit card. It's easy. Eliminate the friction.
And just to understand, where does the money come from? Is it ticket sales? Is it merchandise?
That's it.
That's it.
It's
a simple business.
90% of our revenue is tickets and merchandise.
Is there something that people should be doing to become more like the Bananas?
I don't think anyone should become necessarily more like the Bananas, but yeah, the simplest thing is just stop doing what your customers hate.
So the answer is just don't do dumb stuff?
There's the fastball, and it ends up plunking. Oh, he's going to go after Price.
I think for a lot of people, even if they spot things that are not great in their business, the idea of changing the rules is something that doesn't even seem possible to them. Was there a point where you thought, I can only take baseball so far, I can only change this many things?
Yeah, for me, I played the game, and so as playing the game, it's fun. You're on the field, you're performing, you're on stage. But as soon as I started watching the game, after I tore my shoulder, that ended my career, and I sat there watching the game, I realized, man, this is pretty boring, it's slow. And so for there, I was like, well, what would make it fun nonstop? And so for me, it took a ton of inspiration from P.T. Barnum, from Walt Disney, from looking at people that really reimagined the industry that they were in and said, well, why couldn't you do this? What would P.T. Barnum do? What would Walt Disney do if they were to change the game of baseball? And then it was just a series of experimentation.
Getting the secret sauce of Banana Ball just right continues to be an iterative process, but they're nailing it. I watched the game and I couldn't believe the skill I was seeing on the field, how packed the audience was, and how many people were having a blast, myself included. Fans even stayed an hour after the game just to hang out with each other and with the players. How many players are now associated with the Bananas?
We hear from over 2,000 to 3,000 players each year that want to be a part of
Wow.
this. Even guys that are playing minor league ball, AA, AAA, they reach out wanting to be a part of this, which is just crazy to me. I mean, they're one step away, two steps away from the majors,
Right.
and they want to join us.
Baseball has been in need of a makeover. The league has seen a drop of attendance to the tune of 14% over the past 9 seasons, according to Forbes. And a Washington Post survey showed that only 7% of adults aged 18 to 29 said baseball was their sport of choice on TV. But Jesse isn't trying to compete with traditional baseball. As the MC says before the start of a banana game,
This is not your granddad's pastime.
This game of Banana Ball is not for the traditional baseball fan. And I think it's so key to know who are you for, but who are you not for? When I knew that we're not for the people that have been watching baseball their whole life, and we could be for people that just wanted fun and see something different, and then believe, well, hell, if we do a good enough job, we might grab some of those baseball fans as well, because they're like, oh, there is another way.
Just swarming out of the first base dugout.
Jesse's leadership style is also unlike any other sports organizations. You're also in the game though,
No.
so you're a personality. How do you
Take that as a
square?
compliment.
It's a compliment. How do you think about being both behind the scenes and in front of the scenes? Is that a difficult line to
No,
walk?
it's who I am. I
Yeah.
mean, I believe in standing out. I believe in being different, and I believe in being on stage. With this, I try to give our permission to our players, our cast. Like, you can have fun. You don't need to take yourself too seriously. And so
Right.
if I'm out in the crowd, I get to interact, I get to feel it, I get to see it. Whereas maybe some owners, they come in and they watch the game from their spot.
Exactly.
It's like I get to feel and be a part of it and make quick adjustments and edit and adjust and watch things with our players and staff. So I'm very heavily involved.
And his hiring is unconventional too. On job posts, for example, the company puts all the reasons someone shouldn't apply for the job.
We've developed the VCE. Vision challenges expectations. And so we share what the vision of this position, the vision of the company, the vision of that department. What are the challenges? Here are the challenges working in our organization, that we're relentlessly resourceful, that you're going to be micro-led in the beginning. Now, again, not micromanaged. People don't want to be managed. People want to be led. So all the language matters. So we literally go into the detail of all the things, the challenges, then the expectations. And it's firm. All right. And then we ask for, what's your future resume? All right, we don't necessarily what you've done in the past. We want to know what you want to do in the future. Can we work together on that? Are you going to say you want to be in the same position for the next 3 or 4 years? Then you're not hungry. You don't fit one of our core beliefs. And then we want to see a video cover letter. We want to see video, interact. Is this someone I want to be around? Do they bring energy? And yes, does introverts not work in your organization? No, introverts do. But we can tell in a video, is this someone we want to be around, someone that we get excited about being around?
This is true for every position?
Almost every position, they
Wow.
go through this. But what's the craziest thing is we have a wait list to work with that's up to 6,000. And so we work, when we have a new position, we send it out to our wait list. Hey, this is it. Does it fit you? And then boom, let's go through it.
How do you retain people?
We just try to think about this. You want to love your customers more than you love your product. But you want to love your people even more than you love your customers. People don't realize, when we say fans first, they're like, oh, you're always talking about that. Well, who do you think our biggest fans are? Who are the people that go home at Thanksgiving and tell their parents and their family about all the things they're doing? It's our people. So how do we do that? So we do the love language test with our people. We know what they respond to is words of affirmation. We start trying to really connect and understand what matters to our people. But now as we're growing so fast, rapidly, hiring constantly, we're learning we have to spend even more time making sure our people feel seen and heard, because as the company spreads out, we're doing a lot more responsibilities. So retaining people, the biggest thing we're working now is like, how do we spend 30, 60, 90 really connecting as they start the position? Those first 100 days, do they feel like they're on the right path and this is where they want to be? And if so, then we get on a really good trajectory moving forward.
And what about for players? I mean, you grow up wanting to be a professional ball player. What kind of people are you hiring to be on the field, to be a banana or be a party animal?
We're probably the only sports team in the world that asks for an audition video, to submit to be part of this. It's not like, hey, show up the tryouts. No, we want to see a video of what can you do that's dramatically different than anyone else on a baseball field. I mean, that's how Stilts joined us, and these people doing trick plays, and unbelievable. I mean, I'm seeing videos now of people hitting on unicycles. I'm like, you can hit on a unicycle? I'm like, yes, I want all of that. And so they have to send videos in and submit what makes them different, what are their entertainment value. And so we get an idea there. It's like, oh, all right, you can play, but you also have some unique talents. It's the marrying of those two together that makes banana ball special. It's not just can you hit a ball 400 feet and can you throw a ball 95 miles an hour. Can you do something else to get the crowd excited?
How big do you think this can get? What's the scale of the Bananas eventually?
I dream big. I've said this. I believe we can entertain 1 billion fans. The team jokes, if you ask the players, they say, where is this going to go? A lot of them say, Jesse probably wants to take it to the moon. And my mind is, why can't we play on the moon?